Hello and welcome to the SRC podcast. Joining me, your host Big M, to preview Swansea's SRC season is their head coach, the one and only Hugh Gustafson. How are you, Matt? How are we doing?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on board.
I'm happy you can be here. So we'll start off nice and easy. New competition, new season. What's your coaching team looking like? Has anything changed from last season? Can you give me a quick rundown of who we've got involved?
Yeah, so Ben Lewis, ex-Ospreys, for a long time ago, retired from playing Ospreys years ago. Been with Swansea for a long time when they were in the Prem, Championship, and now in Super Rugby Academy. He's leading out defence. Sam Williams, ex-Aberravon second row, was head of rugby, can never recall now. He's our forwards coach. Joe Thomas now has moved up from just being a player to a player coach. Joe's got a history of coaching with the university and used to be with the WRU. Now he's full-time with the university as our attacks and backs coach with the university. So he's been juggling a bit of both as a player coach. I'll look after the head of rugby, head coach, and I look after the scrum as well.
Well, you looking after the scrum, I should imagine it should be fairly dominant at this level. So, have you all settled in together? Have you been together for long?
Well, Ben, myself and Ben have played Welsh youth together. I've known Ben for a long time. When I was player coach for Swansea, Ben was a defence coach then, and Ben's been there for a long time. We've got a lot of history with the Whites. Sam came on board last year with his knowledge of the Welsh Prem, also good recruitment with every college. He knows a lot about rugby and the people as well. So having him on board helping with recruitment. Joe, exciting rugby player. He's bringing a bit of an edge to us as a back line, which helps our young talent coming through and a couple of new players, which I'm excited to have a look at in the next couple of weeks with our friendlies.
So you're fairly settled on the coaching front. So a lot of squads I've seen have had quite a big overhaul now coming into this new season. Like I've seen Aberravon squad with like vast majority of them are under 23. What's the Swansea squad looking like?
It's been a blend. We've probably had a really young squad the last couple of years, playing a lot of academy players. We've still got a young squad, but we have signed a couple of players. We've got a bit of not just age, but they're probably young, but they've actually got some really good Premiership experience and URC experience, will help bolster our younger squad. We've still got a young team, probably all in the most of our average age is probably 25 and under. We've got one or two like Chris Davis, tight end in his 30s, which is huge for us to have mature tight end to help our team. But I think everyone else is probably under 30, around that age, playing in the group.
Yeah, well, anyone who listens to our other podcast will know I'm Scarlett. So one player you've got, which I'm quite unhappy about, is Luca Giannini. When I saw him crossing over the border, I was quite disappointed. So how does recruitment work at your level then?
It differs because the last couple of years, probably we'll have to wait for a lot of sponsorship money. The figures are not the same every year with Super Rugby Cymru. There is a budget and a threshold we can't go past. And if we do, there is a finance system and deducted points. So WRU very strict on the auditing process. With that, we kind of bolster our squad. We know what we liked from our squad last year. People probably retiring or moving on. And what are key positions we need to look at. And we just get growing and kind of some of us is from knowing each other. Some of us from a friend of a friend. Some of us have just been a Facebook message trying to get a phone number. And it's wide reaching as much as we can. And there's rumours grumbling of someone being released because sometimes nothing's been announced on social media, but you hear grumbling and the last person to know, and then we get found out, and that's how we do it. It's just kind of use the ground, trying to figure out the relationships and who knows someone, and that's how it works really most of the time.
Rugby back to its roots. I like hearing it. So how has training gone? So who did I speak with? I spoke with Carmarthen Quins last, and they said they had a massive conditioning block to start the season. So how was training gone for you guys?
We've done a bit of both. I think rugby's really important that we play with the rugby ball, and I think sometimes last year that kind of the rugby detail let down as a group, not just as coaches, well, leaving them probably the detail, trying to condition them quickly and trying to get the detail last second. I think we started the detail early enough, so then we can catch up with the conditioning. There's been mainly rugby games, defence early or tack shape early. We've done a lot of that work, but then just worry about conditioning because like I said, these young guys are fit and strong. It's just kind of the rugby knowledge they lack and how we get that rugby knowledge into them and kind of help them as well on the way. So we are focused on, so we went up against Bonham on Tuesday. Last Tuesday, we did think it was going to be a nice August running rugby session. It went up there, it was fog and it was gale force wind and rain. So we went from planning a session to, well, this is December already in August. So we planned that rugby session change quickly. So we're going to hit out there. We've got Neath on Thursday. We've got the Origin series coming up with the Ospreys, and then we've got Swansea University for a bit of a tempo game hit there before Quins. So we've planned it quite well and just trying to get those boys gelling together. Majority of the squad have stayed on, and then we sent a couple of new key positions, which kind of are going to help us through the season.
So what is going to be your focus on these pre-season games? Like what sort of style of rugby are we going to be seeing Swansea play in this season?
The style of rugby we need to play throughout the year, you can't really play expansive rugby in August because from probably now until next year it's going to rain and wind, especially down St Helens. It's just our brand of rugby, and I want to make sure that everyone understand their roles in detail. Not everyone's going to be a playmaker, not everyone's a goal kicker. It's what their role and remit, and even if you just hit rucks or scrum, you're doing a job for Swansea, so the boys understand there's remits and roles, and not everyone can do everything, but they're going to be very good at what they do, and we're going to focus on those key points going into the games.
So it's going to be a very structured side and a well-drilled side, I'm getting from
yeah, but I was never like as a player. Probably back in the day, they look at my Dragons, or when I was playing for Scarlets underage grade, I never really ended up being a wide ruck, and I used to carry off wide channels as a prop because I wanted the ball in my hands. I think rugby is a pretty, as a beautiful, ugly game. Now you've got to have a bit of that flair, that kind of style, and then you've got to have that bit of ugliness to get you through the wet weather and kind of that territory battle. So trying to get that blend right, and when to pull the trigger to be beautiful and when to be a bit of ugly is important in these next 3 games.
Okay, that's it. So we've touched a bit on, obviously, you've got your training, your pre-season. How are you working together with the Ospreys? Because I'm assuming you've got a few academy boys in your squad as well. How does that relationship work?
Yeah, so they've only come in the last week, so they've had some of the boys from World's 20s have a been deloaded. We've had young Hassanto come in the last 2 weeks. Keane Hire come back last week from his deload from the World Cup. We'll start probably seeing some transition players come in down later on, depending on the needs of them minutes. But it's not as high as it has been in the past due to the fact of the 3 Welsh Premiership, 3 Super Rugby teams in the new competition, so it's shared out more evenly. And also the squads aren't as deep as the past in the regions, so there won't be as many as you think coming down or being used as much. It'd be more probably younger guys in the academy or sub-academy coming up and having opportunities.
Yeah, because the squads I've seen, they generally down 35 to 40 man squads, so they are quite small in modern day rugby terms. So what sort of challenges are you facing at time? Like you talk about a small squad, and now you've got boys who are transitioning in and out. You don't really know where you're going to be, I'd say, from every month to month with who you've got from the academy. So how are those challenges sort of affecting you so far?
Like, I gotta be honest, it's probably better for us as a club because last year we only had 18 contracted players. As a Whites player, I got 32 this year because we're on the budget now together. People who want to play rugby isn't going for the extra £100 down the road to other clubs. It's staying within. But then we, as a affiliate to the Ospreys, we know kind of what they're doing. We do get fed back. Richard Kelly, the transition coach, we do know a plan for them. That plan will change because if someone gets injured or a bump in the senior team, their plan will change. We do have some outline, sub-academy boys, like a junior card, senior card boys, we kind of know because they're with us as their club. The transition boys, we do have a plan, but it does vary because 1 knock, 2 knocks, they're in playing full-time rugby. So it is probably a monthly basis, but in that month things can change, and it goes by weekly then. But as a group, we're all in it together, so it's important that we work together and get those guys minutes if they need them, help them perform, and also they understand they need to perform in Super Rugby because they can't just cruise if you don't perform. How are they going to play for a regional side? So understanding if they do want to play for and represent the Whites, they need to play to the best ability.
Exactly. So you sound like you're fairly settled, especially compared to last season. So if I want to touch on last season, it wasn't exactly great from your point of view. I think it was 6 wins, finishing last but 1. How have you reflected on that coming into this season?
I think the fact of, planning a squad and having transition players, and then because of injuries and Wales call-ups, it does decimate you because we were planning something that didn't happen. Injuries happen as well. Certain things occur, like we beat the Bridgend for the last play of the game, the first game of the season, and then we lose from a scrum. And then we got a Pontypool, score 4 tries, winning the game, and have a yellow card and lose the game. And kind of morale then goes from that. I think we're probably in a better position having consistency. We didn't have enough consistency last year, and a lot of changes in the squad on a weekly basis. And with that breeds uncertainty. With having a 32-man squad, we all know we're in it together, and it's not going to change that much week in, week out. Data performances, and if people play well, they keep a jersey, and if they don't, someone else comes in. But having a 32 will breed consistency and an understanding, which is huge for us.
So, what are your targets? What are your expectations for this coming season? And don't say get the playoffs, because every team gets into the playoffs. I don't want to hear that.
No, we need to win more than 6 games. 100%. We need to perform. If we can get to mid-table and push ourselves in that bracket, I'd quite be happy. There will be a couple of front runners. I see like Kidnevry haven't changed much of their squad, or Newport haven't. They're quite a mature team. The likes of Abravan have probably changed their mindset. They've gone for a younger side. We've got a blended side, a couple of grumblings here and there. So Cardiff will have 1 week, we'll have a fantastic side, and the week after it might be different because of how they do it. So it's very open. I think there'll be 2 front runners. I think we'll have to go hard, and I just want to play a better brand of rugby and getting people playing, and hopefully as well, I want these players transitioning into a full-time role with the region. That's my goal as well. Get these boys 20s caps, with young guys coming through as well. Help support their journey.
Oh, that's good to hear. That's all everyone I think wants in Welsh rugby is better development pathways, and this is certainly, well, hopefully going to be one of them. So we're going to look at Swansea. Let's say I'll say 6th, 7th. That's probably a good. You'll be happy with that come the end of the season. So now we're coming on to the hard stuff. Now I've really got to prepare you for this. If I come down and watch Swansea at St Helens, how much is a pint in a club?
It all depends on what pint you like. So Madry or a little cheaper than that. Depends on your taste. See, it's been a West Walian, I know it'd be cheap. So
oh, thanks, Beth.
I don't worry, I'm one of them as well. So don't worry, I'm from Tumble, so don't panic too much. Yeah, I'm sure we can get you a jug for free. I'm sure if we have the right, you don't wear a Scarce jersey into the or like an FC top, I'm sure you get a free jug and come down and support.
I'm not that stupid. I got more than 2 brain cells, I think.
Yeah, you'd be fine then.
What about the common man? How much will it cost the common man for a pint? How much is a pint of Madry in the club going?
Well, I got a Swansea memberships, they're cheaper. I think it's probably £4 something, depending on how the barman feels, I think sometimes.
Yeah, I'm struggling to get a straight answer here. This isn't going well as planned.
Oh, it's different. I usually doom and gloom. I get my pint and get split team manager. My drip, down our sorrows and a pint after the game. So I'm quite tight as well. So team manager John Paul usually buys the pint anyway.
Right, let's hope you're not drowning too many sorrows this season.
No.
Okay, let's have some other ones. Okay, who's the longest in the shower?
Longest in the shower. Oh, there's a fair few. I know Matt Dodd takes the longest. He comes really early, so he turns up probably 12 hours for the coaches to stretch and strap, and then he's probably, after the game he plays, he probably sits around for a while as well and takes 12 hours to take his tape off. So I think I would say Matt Dodd.
Okay, this is a term I can't myself between a couple of my friends. The fire exit. Who's the first man out of there as soon as he can?
Well, I don't know at the moment. Some of the boys got shoot off. Like for Geraint Powell lives in Brecon, so he needs to get on the road as fast as he can. So he needs to get out of there. It all depends. I think a couple of years in the past, we had more boys on, some boys on call. They'll get out there as fast as they can. But I haven't had a game yet in St Helens. We soon see who's desperate to get out after a tough game. But I've got to say, a few of the boys are quite take the time. The Regen boys who share left, they like to take their time. Come late and take the time. But no one at the moment, I'd say. I'd have to wait till the first or second game is in Helens, and it's a busy Saturday, so who wants to leave early.
All right, then. So to be determined. We'll come back to you on that one. And the totally opposite end now. Who is your club man? Who is that one guy, the first in, the last out? Who represents all of Swansea?
There's a fair few boys. We've got Callum Carson to come back. He's a proper Swansea boy. He loves it. Joe Thomas as a backs coach. Like I said, Matt Dodd has been there for a long time, servant at the club. Callum Bowden, captain, he is Mr. Swansea. He will die for that badge, literally. He will cut and bleed and break his hand and the thumbs, and he's still digging and try to drag him off. Yeah, it is. I gotta say, it's not just one guy. There's a few Swansea born and bred there, which I'm not, and there's some boys who love the club and will help out and support the club as many ways as possible. So there's probably more than a handful of true Swansea boys who've been there since schoolboys rugby. Gone through schoolboys, have done rag, based themselves in St Helens for a long time. But I would say about 4 or 5 of those boys have been around through the tough times as well.
Oh, well, disappointing for me being down west. It sounds like Swansea's a good place to be at the minute. I'm not happy with this, so I wanted you back down the bottom of the table. Anyway, so thank you for coming on. It's been great chatting with you. Good luck to you on the rest of the season, and hopefully chat to you at a game or two in the future.
Yeah, hopefully come down and you can have a cheap pint, hopefully.
Thanks, Hugh. Bye.
No worries, take care.